What's up, guys? Barry Game here, back with some more Idle Heroes, and we are finally here to show you guys how to set up your macro in Fantasy Arcade. Number one, you gotta do this on PC. Use that very first link in the description. Go to BlueStacks, go get it downloaded, download Idle Heroes. Make sure you guys know your login information because you're gonna have to be able to do that. And sadly, this guide is mainly just for Android players. You can do something similar to this with iOS with a tapper like a functionality on a phone, but it's not as good as what you see here in BlueStacks, what we're going to do here. So again, first thing you got to do, go to that first link. It says play Idle Heroes on PC. Click that link, get BlueStacks downloaded, install Idle Heroes, and you will be good to go for the next part. So we're going to show you guys how to get all those juicy gems because we're going to try to get them all on our free-to-play account eventually here as well. And the further on in the game, the better. So I'm gonna get myself to a point where we unlock something very important. Granted, you can technically do this from the very first wave, but this is mainly for doing the forever mode. Essentially, it's called the trial mode. It's very difficult to get all the way done. Your game might even still crash, but I'm going to show you guys how to cheat and how to get all these things very easy. Hopefully you guys enjoy this one. Hit that subscribe button. Let's get going. So this might look a little strange to you guys, but this is our BlueStacks window. You see up in the way top corner up there, we have some information as far as skills and such. This right here is what you need. Now, the number here, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 correspond with skills 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 down here. You'll notice I already have number 1 and number 2 made. I'll show you guys how we're doing it. But in reality, the most important key and number here is going to be getting Viper Guard. Viper Guard is by far the most important part of this. It's very important. Number 2 is Tactical Mind can be very strong as well. So I like having Tactical Mind and the Snake as the first two. If you can't get it, so for some reason, it's not as big of a deal. But yeah, you do want to try to get at the very least those taken care of. After that, it's not as big of a deal what you're getting for the other ones here. If you want to place more, you can. We're going to really focus on upgrading the Viper Guard first and foremost, and then Tactical Mind after that. Now, if you guys have really bad luck and you can't get them, you can click Challenge Again. And essentially what Challenge Again will do, it'll let you reset the match without wasting your coins, without wasting that precious silver that you have every single day. So that's the first part. The setup's there. Let's now jump into how you get all these weird icons on the screen. Essentially what you're going to be doing to get all these up here, of course, is come up to this little keyboard you see that says Game Controls up the top corner here. You're essentially gonna want to make sure it's set up just as is and click Controls Editor. What that's gonna do is it's gonna shift everything over and give you this Control Editor's thing. You'll notice I already have a bunch of things made up. That's essentially for the first two skills already. If I wanted to do more or I wanted to set them up originally, I'll show you guys right now. Essentially what you're gonna do is you're gonna drag a D-pad out and you're gonna right click on it to get the D-pad settings. You're gonna want to make sure you're using these here, and I'll show you guys how to do it for number 3 right here. So you're gonna come over to keyboard and mouse. You can technically just set it up for 1 as well, and then the X is the important part right here. This is the X axis. We've already done it for 38 and 44. We're gonna do it for 50. So 50 is the X axis right there, and then we also need to use the Y axis of 69. That is the placement for the button here. Next up, we need to do radius. You're going to do 3 of these: radius 8, 12, and 16. Going up, we're going to start with 8. Once we hit the X button up here, it snaps into place. We're going to do that 2 more times right here to show you guys exactly what we're doing. We're doing that. We're doing 50. We're doing 69, and that doesn't sound right. 12, and then see the second one comes in there, and then we're going to do it 1 more time here. Over here, like 1. We're going to do this up to 50. I'm going to do this over to 69. And this is 16. So that's where you get those 3 there. You're going to click save. You can close out of it. And then you're popped back into this view right here. So as you guys can see, you can do this for each one of them. Now, do note that I put them all to bound to 1. What you can do is you put each skill up to a certain number here. And essentially what happens is this. We want to save changes here. We have all of them done. Technically, like I said, you can change this to be 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. So they're 5 separate keys. Me personally, though, I kind of like just doing it like this, honestly. So what we're going to do is we're going to try to get everything picked the way we want. We want mines. We want mines. Ice spear is all right. We want thunder strike. Bomb again. So you can see here we didn't get what we wanted. That's just not what we wanted. We're gonna do this one more time, try to see if we can get exactly what we want for this test right here. Lightning totem I like. Alchemy bomb, there we go. We got Viper Guard, that's the most important one to get. We'll do Ice Storm again. We'll do Ice Storm here. And these are really kind of sucky ones. Again, Viper Guard is like the most important one for us to get here. And now essentially what you're going to do is this. You're going to hold the key down and you'll notice it jumps out onto the screen here. I actually noticed that this isn't either. And what happens is it'll basically triple cast them. Why? Because we put them at radius 8, 12, and 16. And you can basically just have them jump everything out at the same time. So you can do this for a ton of different things. Granted, the most important thing to have are your snakes. You can still, of course, you know, throw in all these guys here. You can get them fully maxed out, do whatever you want, still put them out on the battlefield, have some defense as well. But as soon as the troops come your way, you can basically just place this wherever you want. So if we want to go all the way out here and we want to be getting everybody in this area, we're essentially going to do this and then we're just going to let go. And that's going to be casting everything in that location. Now, if you do everything besides the snake, you might run into some issues here. Because it can get quite laggy very, very quickly. And as you guys see, it just depends on how many you have. This isn't quite enough to do what we want to do here. Again, we can do this again where we're just holding it and stuff. It kind of glitched out that time because of getting attacked, but that's essentially how you do it. So what we have here isn't exactly what you want to see, but I want to show you an example of how to get each one of these out there on the board, and then you press and hold to set multiples up. Now, one little tweak I've done for mine right here is I'm basically putting like all of them spaced out. I kind of messed out on the last one right there. Actually, I kind of put it way too high up there. So if you ever do want to mess with them or anything like that, you can modify them and change how far away the radius is and all these different things. So if you want to come back down to like 34 instead, do that. You can change it to whatever you want distance wise. It's really up to you, but essentially that's what we're going to be doing. So we're going to be throwing a bunch of you in here, a bunch of you in the back row here. We'll just throw up a 10, and essentially what we're going to be doing is we're going to scroll as far over as possible, and again we're just going to be holding that one button, and that's going to put up an entire line. And so as you can get further and further and the cooldown reduces, all this fun stuff, you can put a ton of these snakes out, and hopefully it's basically one of the most important parts here, especially in your prep phase, because you can get 2 full lines of these out really quickly. And again, same thing, you want to wait for the cooldown to come down, let it scroll all the way up to the top, and you can do that. Now that's one way to do this. There are multiple ways, and there are ways that you need to kind of stagger them. The better way to do this is there is another way to do it where you can do it at an angle. I'm not a big fan of that one, but again, if you do that with all your different power-ups here, you can basically just use your tactical mines as well, and you can put them all over the place. So you can see it does take a little refining to get used to how it works, but that's how you throw a ton of these snakes out. And you can do the same with the tactical mines. You can do an entire line of tactical mines. You can do it with every one of your skills, and you can give them a different hotkey to place them whenever you want. So this layout is kind of the better way to do it right here. You'll notice our snakes went at an angle. That's why this way they essentially don't attack the same target at the same time. Well, what you're going to want to do is you're going to want to hold 1 and D to go at an angle here. If you're pressing both of them at the same time, you notice instead of it going up, it went to the side, and that's how you get this to happen. This helps so that they don't all attack the same target constantly, because that's the one downside of having them within the same like distance of each other, is they can run into those issues right there, and it does become a bit of an issue. So again, we're going to scroll all the way back to here. We're going to do 1 and D again. We're going to get overrun, but again we're going to do that, and that's how we're putting all these snakes out at an angle. And again, we're going to do that with all of these different things and put tons of different spell effects out here to really help us out. So that is one of the pieces of magic that you do need in order to do really well in Fantasy Arcade. If you're really pushing to get to level 100, we are going to try to do it on a live stream here coming up. I don't know when, but sometime soonish. Hopefully you guys enjoy this one. Let me know what you guys think. Hit that subscribe button, download with the first link in the description. I'll see you guys next time.